Alright, we are back and we are covering issue 4, and man, this issue really hits. And this picks up after the events of issue 3, and we see Starscream encounters Skywarp, and Skywarp is not looking too good after taking a beating from Optimus last issue, which was dope. And Starscream wants to know where the Autobots went, and Skywarp tells Starscream that they went up east to go save Spike. We didn't see Starscream leave, then we cut to Ratchet, who is trying to bring Wheeljack back online, and he gets a transmission from Optimus saying that they need help, and Optimus tells Ratchet that Spike is hurt and bleeding out. And as Optimus telling Ratchet that he gets interrupted by Starscream firing at Optimus. And this leaves Ratchet to make a decision between helping Optimus or bringing back Wheeljack, and ultimately he chooses to help Optimus. We then see Starscream corner Optimus, and as Optimus is ready to gun it forward, we see Cliffjumper ask Carly if she wants to ditch, and Carly stays in the car and says, "Are you kidding me?" And we just see Cliffjumper sweep the freaking leg Johnny. We see Starscream getting knocked over, and then we see Optimus completely just run over Starscream. And Starscream yet again takes a beating. And we see Optimus thank Cliffjumper for the help, and they both go drive away, avoiding any more conflict from the Decepticons. At least, for now. As they take Spike to the emergency room, and I love this part on how they are just dropping off Spike and Sparkplug, and you just see Optimus transform and say, "Please help my friend." And the doctors are just confused, like, is that a robot? but then we get interrupted by Laserbeak, and Laserbeak starts to rain down fire on Optimus and Cliffjumper, trying to protect Spike and the medical staff and shooting back Laserbeak. But in the midst of them shooting Laserbeak, Rumble comes in and blitzes Cliffjumper, knocking him down, and Soundwave then blitzes Optimus, saying the most typical but awesome Soundwave line, saying, "Optimus inferior." And just as Soundwave is about to pull the trigger on Optimus, Starscream told him to wait. As Starscream looks around and realizes this hospital is what fixes, as Starscream calls, the squishy ones. We see Starscream start to mock Optimus, saying that he is pathetic and he can't believe that Optimus would bring the ants to a place to get repaired. Starscream then starts to shoot the hospital, interrupting the doctors from trying to save Spike and cutting the power from the hospital, leaving people untreated. And as Starscream is laughing, being a complete menace, we see Soundwave warn Starscream of reinforcements. And dude, oh man, okay. Let me calm down. So we see Ratchet say, "Jazz, do what you do best." And boom, we see Jazz back in action. And we see him in his beautiful Porsche alt mode. And the goat says, "Time to change up this tune." And we see Cliffjumper get excited as the Moonbase 1 bro is back. And we see Jazz start to amp up, counting 2, 5, 1. Taking down Starscream and Soundwave with ease. And let me just say, I really like how in these comics we see a lot of the Autobots use like wrestling moves. I don't know, it's just really cool that they use these type of like wrestling like move takedowns. It's just really cool to me, and I really just like how Mike Spicer draws them. Anyways, once the cons take a beating from the goat Jazz, we see the Autobots take the upper hand, and Optimus asks them, "Should we finish this fight?" And as Decepticons being Decepticons, they retreat. And I just love this image right here. We see Cliffjumper flipping off the Decepticon as they retreat. Which is amazing and spot on for the character. We then switch back to the hospital as the doctors tell Optimus that the power is still out and that they have stabilized Spike for now, but they need power for him to be breathing, and that it won't be just Spike who dies tonight. And as Sparkplug is comforting Spike, telling him it's going to be okay, we see Optimus observe this interaction, and without even thinking twice, Optimus opens up his chest, unleashes the Matrix, and let me just say, this looks dope. I don't know, anytime we see Optimus use the Matrix, it always just looks dope, man. But when Optimus unleashes the Matrix, Ratchet warns him, no. And Optimus responds with, "No more death, Ratchet. Even if it comes at a price. No more death." With the power of the Matrix unleashed, we see it completely restore the power in the hospital, and they rush to Spike to the ICU, thanking Optimus for what he has done for the people in the hospital. We shift back to the Ark, as that's where the Decepticons have been hanging around as their hideout, and as Soundwave brings up how it is the second time they have failed in their mission, no goal and no conquest, only destruction. He asks Starscream if that's all he has in mind for as leader, and Starscream, once again being a bad leader, he doesn't take any accountability and tells Soundwave that it's his fault for not fixing Teletran 1, and how they need more soldiers, and that everyone that is on the ship is offline and that are useless, and how he needs fixing as well. Soundwave then tells Starscream again that they do not have the materials needed for repairs and only exist in Cybertronian technology. And we see Starscream and Soundwave just being desperate as ever, staring down the damaged Skywarp, and they just rip him to shreds. for his remaining energy for repairs. And man, that is metal. I did not honestly see that coming. I know this comic's been like very like gory, but like I honestly did not see that. They're just staring Skywarp down and they just rip him apart for energy, which is just so freaking crazy. Anyways, we go back to the hospital and we see Sparkplug talk to Spike, telling him it was difficult for him when he got back from the war. How he wanted to protect Spike and protect him from where he grew up. And that's why he moved out here to start over. And he mentions how the world can be cruel and how he can't see the good anymore. At least not since the war and not since Spike's brother. He tells Spike that he feels like he's infected. He can't remember how to see the good and how he isn't there to remind him of the good. And this is just one of those situations on how war can really affect people and how much of an impact it has on people in many ways. And for Sparkplug here, it just seems like it's really impacted him a lot. And we've really seen that plenty from Sparkplug so far in this run, especially, you know, considering in the first issue how we saw Sparkplug act when it came to Jimmy. And it just seems like Sparkplug now really is just a glass half empty mindset. But as Sparkplug finishes talking to Spike, we see a kid from the hospital asking Optimus if it is true that he can turn into a truck. And this is such a wholesome scene here. It is very adorable as Optimus responds saying, "Indeed, it is true." And the kid asks Optimus if he can do it. Optimus replies saying, "I'm a little worse for wear, but gladly." And we see Optimus transform and the kid acts like pretty much how any of us would react, saying, "Oh my god, that is awesome." It really is like an adorable little scene. And when we see Sparkplug confront Optimus, we also see Optimus transform back and the kid's like, "Oh, he can turn back too." But Sparkplug asked if Optimus saved Spike, and Optimus says that it wasn't him, it was a gift that he was sharing that was given to him many years ago, meaning the Matrix. And Sparkplug asks Optimus if he can do it again because Spike is in a coma, and you know, Optimus probably saying how he used every bit of what the Matrix was left. And this isn't the first time we've seen something like this where the Matrix is kind of empty. I believe the first time we saw it in media was Return of Optimus Prime Part 2, when Optimus unleashed every ounce left of the Matrix, curing everyone in the universe from the hate plague, and then having to refill it up again with wisdom, which is a really cool concept. And let me just say, that alone is just one of the many reasons why I love the Matrix and Transformers media. But anyways, we see Optimus bring up how it is up to the Great Spark, and Sparkplug responds with, "Don't you mean gods? Don't you fall into that category?" And Optimus responds, and he honestly chuckles here, which I find very cool for Optimus' character, as he says he can say the same thing to Sparkplug, and Sparkplug responds saying, "Nah, man, I'm nothing, compared to you." And Optimus responds with, "True, small, but still mighty." And let me just say, I really gotta tip my hat to Daniel Warren Johnson, as he has really captured the essence of Optimus in these comics. Like, he's very fatherly-esque, but he's also stoic. It's a nice blend, and he really captures the Optimus' spirit really well, especially in this issue. And we'll get back to that in a second, because we shift back to the quarry with Optimus in his trailer and Ratchet, and we see Ratchet isn't too happy with Optimus, telling him how it was reckless to unleash the Matrix because the Matrix is linked to Optimus' spark, and Optimus doesn't really look at it like that as a big risk, and says that he had no choice. Saving an innocent creature and not doing anything about it just isn't how Optimus is. And Ratchet responds by saying how they are not innocent, saying look at what they did to their own kind, how they are prone to anger and destruction. Optimus responds with, "Just like us," which is a very true statement from Optimus, again capturing the essence of Optimus Prime. But before that conversation continues, we see our goat Jazz start to run out of Energon, and how Ratchet brings up how he barely had enough Energon to bring Jazz online to help Optimus and Cliffjumper. And unfortunately, our goat goes back offline, and Optimus tells him, "It's alright, you did well, and you can rest now." And I am very upset by this. I need more Jazz and more media, please. Anyways, Ratchet brings up to Optimus on how they need to start thinking for themselves, and that if Optimus dies, we all die. And that happens, what's left of humanity? What will be left once Decepticons take over? And Optimus responds with, "They are always worth saving. Everything is." And again, this moment where Daniel Warren Johnson nails Optimus' character of just, the whole aspect of freedom is the right of all sentient beings, which is really awesome, man. Again, hats off to Daniel Warren Johnson. But we see Ratchet mention how he can't heal Optimus or anyone else until they find more Energon. But he mentions how they have one more thing that might help them bring back the initiative. And Optimus closes the trailer and says no, he can't use this, and Ratchet brings up how he has no choice because Optimus is wounded. And if you're wondering what he is talking about, you'll see in a second. And we see Sparkplug tell Optimus how he has an idea on how they can get more energy. The next page, we see Cliffjumper comforting Carly on everything that has happened to her and her dad, and he asks Carly if she's doing okay, and she responds with, how's that even a question? Cliffjumper tells her that he knows what she's going through. And this is some really cool background lore info on Cliffjumper, as he tells Carly that Starscream killed his entire clan, like literally just wiped out his entire family, and then the next day he joined the war. And that is just really insane, just thinking about it, like just Cliffjumper having a whole family and just Starscream just wiping them out, and then the next day you're just signed up for the war, ready to like fight back. And Carly asks Cliffjumper if it ever gets easier, and Cliff comforts Carly, but then we see Optimus enter this scene, and dude, oh my god, dude, okay, we see Optimus interrupt this conversation and ask Cliffjumper, how do you feel about going on the offensive? And boom, we see Optimus with Megatron's right arm now attached to him with the fusion cannon. And dude, this looks amazing, dude. This looks so good. We then shift back to the Decepticons dragging Skywarp, who is still somehow alive, and we see Starscream say victory and how he is a Decepticon leader today and tomorrow and forever. And boom, we see Megatron frozen in ice. And that is how the issue ends. And man, honestly, this was the best issue yet. I mean, Optimus looks dope with Megatron's arm. And we finally see where Megatron has been, and I think either Void Rivals or I believe Cobra show what or how, you know, the whole thing with Megatron and how he's like, how or why he's in ice, which I really got to read up on. But man, this gives me heavy '07 movie vibes with him being in frozen ice. And I can't wait to cover issue 5 here on the channel, which we will cover soon. And I appreciate everyone watching, and I will see you guys all later for issue 5. Later.